Good evening. This is a 12th video lesson on magnetic effect of current. In the previous class, we have discussed about moving coil galvanometer. The working principle of the galvanometer, that when a current carrying coil placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a torque. We also have stated that the deflection produced in the coil in the magnetic field varies directly with the current flowing in the coil, that is alpha is proportional to I. This is the working principle of moving coil galvanometer. And we discussed about sensitivities of galvanometer towards electric current and potential difference. We defined current sensitivity and voltage sensitivity. Current sensitivity is defined as deflection of coil in the magnetic field per unit current, and voltage sensitivity is defined as deflection of coil in the magnetic field per unit potential difference. And we also try to establish a relation between these two sensitivities. That is it necessary that every time voltage sensitivity should increase whenever there is an increase in the current sensitivity? Means we said it is not necessary all times. Okay, so sometimes if factors like magnetic field is doubled, current sensitivity will be doubled, voltage sensitivity also will be doubled. But factors like number of turns, when it is doubled, then current sensitivity no doubt it will be doubled, but voltage sensitivity will remain same because the resistance of the coil is also getting doubled. Today we are going to see in this video lesson how we are going to use this moving coil galvanometer to measure the currents and as well as voltages. So it is conversion of galvanometer into an ammeter and then into a voltmeter. So today's topic begins with conversion of galvanometer into an ammeter. You know children, ammeter is nothing but a current measuring device. Okay. So already it is a versatile device. It can be used to measure both voltages and currents. Then what is the need to convert again into ammeter? Means, as you said at the beginning, it is very sensitive device. It measures only microamperes of current. In order to measure some orders of amperes, 5 ampere, 10 ampere, this meter as a raw cannot be used as it is. So therefore, we have to do some modifications to measure the higher magnitudes of currents. Okay, right. Now you see, this is your galvanometer. You have seen it full and full in the animation video. You have seen how the galvanometer is constructed. Okay, and in today's video, which is sent to you, you have seen that what are the real parts of this moving coil galvanometer. So the heart of the moving coil galvanometer is its coil only. Coil deflects because of the current, because of the torque. So that coil is made up of a copper wire of a certain length. It is wound into number of turns. So copper wire is nothing but a conductor. It has got certain resistance. So everything, all those things, concave shaped magnetic poles, soft iron cylinder, the coil which is wound on the soft iron cylinder, the hairspring, the pointer, everything now will be shown in the form of a symbol G encircled. Okay. Now let it have a internal resistance what? G, and an internal resistance G. So who will contribute for internal resistance of this galvanometer? Means basically it is a coil that has a resistance. So the G. Order of 100 ohm, 50 ohm, 60 ohm, like that. Fine, right. Now, so into this one, you send a current which we call it as IG. Small g stands for galvanometer or resistance of the galvanometer. So this IG will be named as the full deflection current of galvanometer. That means when you pass this much of current into the galvanometer, it can give the full deflection. So this is the pointer, children, and this is the 0. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 20, and here this is 30. So this side also it will have 30. So when a current of Ig amperes passes into galvanometer, it will deflect through 30 divisions. Okay. So what if I send more current, means it cannot measure. So therefore this Ig is known as full scale deflection current. Ig is known as full scale deflection current. That is, it is the maximum current that can be borne by this galvanometer. Fine. Now, suppose if I want to measure, so this order of generally 10 power minus 3 or 10 power minus 6 amperes, so both chota current. Suppose if I want to measure a very large current, say 5 ampere current I want to measure. So that current I name it as what? I. So where I is current to be measured. Current to be measured. This is a meter which can bear only the milli or microamperes of current. When you send a 5 amperes or 10 amperes of current, which is 10 power 6 times greater or 10 power 3 times greater, then the coil will undergo a large deflection and it will stuck at one side, it will not come back because it is very sensitive. So therefore what to do? To protect your galvanometer, you need to have a resistance connected in parallel to this galvanometer. So I have a small resistance this I name it as shunt resistance S. Remember children, this S which is known as shunt, okay, is a very small as compared to galvanometer's resistance. So where S is very less as compared to G. Let me mention here, G is resistance of galvanometer. So the purpose of connecting shunt in parallel to galvanometer is only to protect the galvanometer from high currents. What is the purpose of shunt? Means shunt is to protect the galvanometer from high current. The value of shunt should be always smaller as compared to G. Otherwise there is no use. Suppose you connected 200 ohm resistor here. This is already 100 ohm. So current tries to flow in 100 ohm only because less is the resistance, more is the current. So you should be able to bypass the maximum current to pass through shunt, not from through galvanometer. Let us say a current Is will flow here, where S stands for shunt, which is nothing but I minus Ig from Kirchhoff's junction rule. So this is a junction point, a current I is entering, so some current Ig is going here, remaining current I minus Ig should come down. When you add these two, you should get this current. So this will flow through this one, this one, this one. Okay. Now, this entire setup will be known as ammeter. So if you see the galvanometer, if you open the ammeter, okay, in the lab, you will see that there will be a small resistance connected in parallel to this galvanometer. So this entire arrangement, what do we call it as? Ammeter. So what did you do? How did you convert a galvanometer into ammeter? Galvanometer is converted into ammeter by connecting a shunt in parallel in a small resistance. So galvanometer is converted into an ammeter by connecting a small resistance as in parallel to it. Okay, right. Now from theoretical part you can see that the resistance G and the resistance S are in parallel. So therefore the potential difference across them should be what? Same. Now, so G is parallel to S. Therefore, potential difference across galvanometer must be equals to potential difference across shunt. When resistors are in parallel, potential difference will be same. This you have learned in current electricity. Okay, so this step we take it forward. V is nothing but what? IR. Current flowing in the galvanometer multiplied by its resistance. So this Ig into G, resistance of the galvanometer, equals to, again IR, current flowing through the shunt. How much? Is. That is nothing but what? I minus Ig into V equals IR. I value is over. R is nothing but resistance of this is what? Shunt. So therefore, shunt S equals to Ig divided by I minus Ig into G. So what did we arrive at, children? S is nothing but the required shunt value, that is the required a small resistance to be connected in parallel to galvanometer. In order to convert my galvanometer, which was measuring a very small current Ig, now can be used to measure a large current what? I, where I is in the order of amperes and Ig is the order of microamperes. So now we have increased the range of this meter. From a small current Ig to a large current what? I. So what is S here? The required shunt to convert a galvanometer, GM means galvanometer, into an ammeter to increase its range, from Ig to I. Ig is milliamperes, I is amperes, so 1000 times you have increased. So in order to increase the measurement by 1000 times for a current, what is the shunt required means this formula you have to use. Okay, right. So simple example I will give you. The bearable current was 5 milliamperes. So this 5 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. You wanted to measure a current of 5 ampere. So you have a galvanometer which is having a coil of 100 ohm. So what is the shunt required means S equals to Ig by I minus Ig whole multiplied by G. Ig is how much? 5 into 10 power minus 3 ampere divided by I minus Ig, 5 ampere minus Ig, 5 into 10 power minus 3, मतलब 0.005. This entire thing to be multiplied with what? 100. See children, how much you will get? 5 से ये very small factor है, 4.9995 आ जाएगा. Round off करने में फिर it will remain almost as a 5. So in the numerator you have 5. This 5 will cancel. You have got 10 power minus 3 here. Here 100 is there. So this is 10 power 2. 10 power 2 into 10 power minus 3 is 10 power minus 1. So this is 0.1 ohm. So this much amount of small resistance needs to be connected parallel to the galvanometer of 100 ohm in order to increase its range from a 5 milliampere measurement to a 5 ampere measurement. Very, very important concept. If you go on increasing the range, what will happen? The shunt value, now you will see. Okay, right. So let me carry on this forward for your competitive examinations to use a shortcut formula right now. So by connecting S, the range of meter is increased from Ig to I, 5 milliampere to 5 ampere, say n times. here 1000 times. So that is, you can write it as I equals to n times Ig, n times Ig. Now, therefore, your shunt will become Ig by, in the place of I can write n into Ig minus Ig as it is, whole multiplied by G. In the denominator Ig is common. Okay. So in the numerator Ig is there. So S equals to, you will get now 1 by n minus 1 into G, G by n minus 1. This is the formula. So in terms of galvanometer's resistance, how do you calculate the resistance value of shunt? Means S equals to galvanometer's resistance divided by range of the meter, how many times it is increased, minus 1. So with this, what will happen? Now you can use this formula directly. So this instead of this, you can make a calculation here. G is how much? 100 ohm is given, divided by N. N is how much? You are increasing from 5 into 10 power minus 3 to 5 ampere. That is nothing but 10 power minus 3. That is nothing but what? 1000 times. Minus 1. So 100 by 1000 minus 1 is almost 1000 only. So 100 by approximately equal. So this is 1000. So this is nothing but 0.1 ohm. Same thing. 0.1 ohm, 0.1 ohm. Any formula you can use. But you should be knowing that what is this N, how do you calculate? N is nothing but how many times the range of the meter is increasing. Fine. So now there are two things, children. One is G, the galvanometer's resistance. Other is S, the shunt which you have connected in parallel in order to convert it on a meter. Now this entire thing with G parallel to S is known as ammeter. So therefore, what is the total resistance or net resistance of the ammeter? Means it is a parallel combination of G and S. Okay, right. So now we will calculate that. The net resistance of ammeter is 1 by R of ammeter, or A stands for ammeter, is nothing but 1 by G plus 1 by S, because both of them are in parallel. So now this is 1 by G plus 1 by, what is S? S is nothing but G by n minus 1. So this n minus 1 will go to the numerator. 1 by RA equals to 1 by G plus n minus 1 divided by G. So G is LCM. So 1 plus n minus 1. The 1 will cancel. You will get what? N by G. So therefore, what do you want? Resistance of ammeter, not reciprocal of the resistance of ammeter. You want resistance of ammeter only. So resistance of ammeter equals to, you are reciprocating this also you have to reciprocate. G by N. Okay, right. G is how much, children? 100 ohm for this problem. N is how much? 5 into 10 power minus 3 to 5 ampere. 1000 times. Okay. So how much you will get? 0.1 ohm. Sorry, this is not ohm, children. This is only these many number of turns. So you have a galvanometer of 100 ohm resistance. You connected a 0.1 ohm approximately shunt resistance in parallel. Now you are going to get an ammeter which will be less than 0.1 ohm. They should be less than 0.1 ohm. Some 0.99 or 98 something you will get here. Because we have the concept that when two resistors are connected in parallel, the net resistance will be smaller than the smallest of the combination. In the combination of these two, S is the smallest of 0.1. So the answer should be less than 0.1. So this will be 0.98 or 0.99 something you will get. So overall, what will be the resistance of your ammeter? Means around this one. 0.99 0.098 or 99, इतना छोटा होता है. So such a device which is having very small resistance, when you connect in series in a given network, this is not going to alter the net resistance of the circuit. Therefore, the net current that is supposed to flow in the network will not be altered. It will not change. इतना छोटा सा एमीटर जिसकी वैल्यू 0.098 है, वो सीरीज में कनेक्ट करने से वो नेटवर्क की रेजिस्टेंस वैल्यू ज़्यादा नहीं बदलेगा. ऑलमोस्ट इट विल रिमेन सेम. Therefore, the current that is entering into the network also will not be changing. So this is the reason why an ammeter should be connected in series. So this question you have in class 10th, why an ammeter should be always connected in series, means because it has got very low resistance. It will not alter the net resistance of the circuit. Therefore, the current also will not change. What will happen if ammeter is connected in parallel? If such a small resistance ammeter, when it is connected in parallel, current prefers to flow in a path where there is a low resistance. So therefore, your entire current will try to flow through your ammeter. No current will try to flow in your bulb. For example, children, you have a bulb here. Okay, and here is an ammeter. Now, if a current comes here, entire current will try to flow in this only, because its resistance is what? R equals to 0.098. ये बल्ब का रेजिस्टेंस क्या होता है? You have already calculated R equals to V square by P. That is nothing but 220 into 220 divided by P is nothing but say 40 watt wala. Okay, this zero cancel. So 4 will cut here 5 times and again 5 times. 2 5 ja 1, 55. Some 110. So 0 1 1210 ohm. So this is 1210 ohm and this is 0.098 ohm, in which the current will flow, children. Now it will flow through only ammeter. No current will flow through your bulb. So bulb will not glow at all. The bulb will not glow at all. So this is the reason why it is to be always put in what? Series. यहाँ पे लगा देना. अगर आप बैटरी लगाए यहाँ पे तो आराम से ग्लो होगा जी. 1210 plus 0.098 is almost 1210 only. So net resistance is not going to be altered when ammeter is connected in series. But when it is connected in parallel, okay, entire current will flow through ammeter. And also it is going to affect the net resistance a large. So the net of these two, if it is here, the net of these two will be less than 0.098 ohm again. Am I clear? So why the ammeter should be connected in series means this is the reason. Fine? Okay. Now we will go to conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. Conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter. Fine. So same factors. Here is your galvanometer, whose coil has got a resistance of 100 ohm. Okay. Now the full scale deflection current that can flow in this, or the maximum current which it can bear, is Ig, order of say 5 milliamperes. I want to use this because I said at the beginning of this topic, galvanometer is a versatile device. It can be used to measure the potential difference as well as the current. So why can't you use this meter as it is as a voltmeter? So now let me check. So suppose Ig is how much? For example, 5 milliampere. So this is 5 into 10 power minus 3 ampere. Galvanometer has got a resistance of what? 100 ohm. So now between these 2 points, if I take a voltmeter and I measure this voltage across the galvanometer as Vg. So this Vg will be Ig into G from Ohm's law. So Ig is how much? 5 into 10 power minus 3 into G is how much? 100. So 10 power 2. So how much you will get, children? 10 power minus 1, 0.5 volt. This is the very meager potential difference, children. This voltage and voltages less than this are of no use as far as the practical applications concerned in the lab. 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, 10 volt, 12 volt. Like that only we will be measuring whether it is AC or DC. So now I want this meter, which was simply measuring a 0.5 volt, to measure a 5 volt voltmeter. In this condition, it can never measure a 5 volt. It can measure hardly 0.5 volt and less. So I want to make it to a meter that can measure a 5 volt potential difference. Then what I do? I connect a large resistance in series. Now, so here what I do? I take a large resistance in series. Now as these two are in series now children, the same current will flow here. So this is IC. Now between these 2 points you have got voltage across the resistor V equals to Ig into R. Earlier it was measuring only 0.5 volt. Now I want 4.5 volt more. So my Ig is how much? My Ig is, so VR should be at 4.5 volt. Okay. So my Ig is how much? Ig into R. Ig is 5 into 10 power minus 3 into R value is how much? You have to calculate. So R is nothing but 4.5 divided by 5 into 10 power minus 3. So this is 0.9 into 10 power plus 3. So this is 9 into 10 power 2. That is nothing but what? 900 ohm resistor. So therefore children, the voltmeter, the galvanometer which was measuring 0.5 volt, if I want it to measure a 5 volt potential difference, I should select a 900 ohm resistance and that should be connected in parallel. So this particular part will measure 4.5 volt, this particular part will measure 0.5 volt, total will become V equals to Vg plus Vr is nothing but 5 volt. This is the concept of converting a voltmeter, a galvanometer into voltmeter. Clear? Right. So how do you convert? So a galvanometer can be converted into a voltmeter by connecting a large resistance in series. Okay. Now, so by the formula we see that V equals to Vg plus Vr. So V equals to Vg is nothing but Ig into G. Vr is nothing but Ig into R, because same current only will flow. Okay. So this will be, Ig can be taken common. In the brackets we have G plus R. Okay. Now in the next step, V by Ig taking into left hand side is nothing but G plus R. Therefore R equals to V by Ig minus G. This is the formula children. Okay. So therefore my basic meter was measuring a potential difference Vc. I wanted to convert into a voltmeter which can measure a potential difference V, not Vr. Total I want, which was measuring Vg, now to be converted into a meter of V. How much resistance I should connect it in series? Bole to R equals to your range of meter, final range, divided by how much the current it can bear, that is called full deflection current, minus galvanometer's resistance. The same thing, ulta. Okay. So if it was measuring a 0.5 volt, if I want to measure a 5 volt using the same meter, I should connect a 900 ohm resistance in series. So therefore, what is my conclusion is, by connecting R in series, by connecting R in series, the range of meter increases from Vg to V, which was measuring only 0.5 volt earlier. By connecting this, what is happening? It is measuring V. So say n times. Say n times. That is, your V equals to n times Vg. So your formula will become now, therefore, R equals to V is nothing but n times of Vg divided by Ig minus G. What is Vg by Ig, children? Vg equals to Ig into G. So Vg by Ig is nothing but what? G. So Vg by Ig, this factor I can replace with galvanometer resistance, R into N into G minus G. Okay. Now G is taken common, R equals to G into N minus 1. Earlier we got, children, S equals to G by N minus 1. Now R is nothing but G into N minus 1. This is only because of the configuration. Earlier resistance was connected in parallel. Now this resistance is connected in what? Series. Okay. Now this entire arrangement, we call it as a voltmeter. This we call it as a voltmeter. If you open the voltmeter, you can see that to the basic galvanometer, a large resistance will be got in series. So now I can get this answer by using this formula. What is R? R equals to G into N minus 1. G is how much? My meter was having 100 ohm coil. So this is 100 into where to where I wanted to increase. I wanted to increase. N is how much? Where N is nothing but V by Vg. So N equals to V by Vg. Okay. So V was how much? 5 volt. Vg is how much? 0.5. So this is how much? 10 times. So this is 10 minus 1. So this is 100 into 9 is nothing but 900 ohm. Clear? This is useful when you convert this. Now, finally, what is the resistance of your voltmeter? Is resistance of voltmeter RV equals to, these two are in series, G and R. So this is G plus R. That is G plus R is nothing but G into N minus 1. G into N minus 1. So G is common. This 1 plus N minus 1. This 1 cancel. R of the voltmeter equals to N times the G. So what is this? Resistance of voltmeter.